Hey beauties, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be answering the uncomfortable questions. I started this off by basically writing down all the comments that I usually get on a regular basis that I ignore. So I don't respond to them. I just act like I never even saw it because it's uncomfortable for me to respond to, or I don't know how to respond to it. You know, sometimes it's hard for me to type something out and it not be misconstrued. So I just leave it alone altogether. And then I also thought, okay, well, maybe there's more questions that you guys just haven't asked yet. So I posted a picture on Instagram and I'm currently looking through these questions and you guys are going in. So I'm just, whatever comes in while I'm filming this and what I've gotten written down is what we're going to be getting into today. So strap in and watch to see just how uncomfortable I can get. The very first one is about Jeffree Star. See, I told you, uncomfortable. I feel like if you talk about him one way or another online, it's just, you're just asking for it. But it's the number one thing that I've gotten recently. I've been asked several times, will you review Jeffree Star this? Will you talk about this? That? And the answer is no. And the reason behind that is because aside from all the racism, I understand that he has apologized. It's not for me to either forgive him or not to forgive him. I have a hard time just forgetting about what he said in my head personally, but again, that's not my place. Aside from that, he's kind of mean. Not even kind of. I keep hoping that he's just going to relax, chill out, and quit being ugly to people, but it's just one thing after another, after another, and after another. And how much I see, I just can't ignore that. Recently, I saw a video with his pink, expensive car in a handicap spot, but he didn't need the handicap spot. And as somebody who does need that handicap spot because I don't walk very well and I can't go long distances, I find that to be incredibly disrespectful, insulting, and I don't go out and I don't boycott brands because of, you know, they did this and this one did this. If I boycotted every single brand that has done something wrong, then I would have no makeup to talk about because let's be real, it's like everybody's in a controversy. But to me, how consistent he is with constantly lashing out at people and then some of the things that he does, I just don't agree with, at least not being on camera. So I can't support that. I am not going to sit here and have a conversation about how you shouldn't support that. I'm not going to tell you what to do with your coin, just like no one's going to tell me what to do with mine. But for me, I am not going to be talking about or reviewing Jeffree Star on my channel, and hopefully I don't get read to filth for that, but if I do, it's fine. I have a delete button. What is your biggest insecurity? Now, I have a few, but I would say my biggest is definitely my legs. I don't like to tell people my insecurities like that because I feel like it's like open season. You tell somebody about it and then all of a sudden all your comments, oh, I never even noticed it. Luckily, my legs are not on camera, but I've had 15 surgeries on my knees and they just aren't the same. I mean, my legs, I'm not even gonna lie, you could just shake them. There's no muscle tone. My right knee, the one I just had surgery on, it's completely atrophied. And I know I'll get some of that muscle back, but it's been atrophied for a very long time. This is also going to lead into my next question is why I don't do fashion hauls or looks of the day. It's because of that. I'm so insecure about the lower half of my body. It's slightly depressing to me. I'm not even going to lie. It really bugs me. I don't like to be in a bathing suit. Heaven forbid I ever got invited to a brand trip. Aside from anxiety, you can't take pictures of me. I would never be in a bathing suit. I'd always be wearing pants. They'd be like, it's 105 degrees out. Why are you wearing pants? And I'd be like, I'm cold. I'm just cold. This next one is another one that's just, I get asked all the time. All the time. Am I gay, lesbian, transgender, What are my pronouns? Have you ever been interested in women? Are you interested in women? All the time. All the time. And I feel like the only reason why I get asked that is because I have short hair and tattoos. Probably more so the short hair, but I just don't get it. It's not like I am offended by it by any means. It's not something to be offended by, but it's kind of like going up to a woman who, just because they're a little bit bigger, and asking them if they are pregnant. Like, you don't just come out and ask that. Like, if somebody were to ask me in person, like, you've been around me for a little while and you ask, I would laugh it off. Like, no, I totally get it. I have 4 kids. I am into like a manly man. Not even like, I'm not into men with like feelings and pink shirts and stuff. Like, I'm like straight up man's man. But again, I'm not offended by it. It's just like, why do you just come out and ask that, you know? I don't know, it's just weird. Would you change your channel name if you and Puffin got divorced? This one just like almost gives me chills. Like, why? Why would you ask that? Don't put that into the air. You're putting bad juju into the air. I think that I'm getting this a little bit more often because of what happened with Jaclyn Hill. People are questioning whether or not she was going to change her last name with her cosmetics line and this and that. So I've really been getting this recently, and I just avoid it altogether because I'm just like, oh, that's such a sad thing to think about. If I have to answer the question, yes, I would change it because Puffin's wife would be kind of hurtful to me. I think I would be more along the lines of Puffin's ex-wife. So it would still be there, but I don't know. I don't like to think about that. I don't see that in my future, but I'm answering the question. Where in Tennessee do you live? So I've mentioned this previously that I work in Nashville, Tennessee, and I just kind of left it at that. I don't live in Nashville, and I'm not going to pinpoint where I live because I live in an inky dinky little town. It's a lake town, and I'm about an hour and a half outside of Nashville. Yes, I know I drive that far to work, but I'm not going to pinpoint it. Please don't dox me. Like, don't let everybody know where I live if you figure it out, but just the clues. Outside of Nashville, an hour and a half, tiny lake town. That's all I'm giving you. How do you feel about Kat Von D and the recent vaccination scandal? I don't agree with it, and I have no problem saying that at all. My mother has an autoimmune disease, so I know that somebody who is not vaccinated could have the potential of making my mother sick, and, you know, anybody else with any kind of issue like that as well. I do feel like you should have the right 100% to raise your child how you see fit, but this is something that doesn't just affect that child or affect that family, and that Kat Von D, you have the means to travel all around the world. You do travel, so I just don't get it. I don't agree with it. No, I'm not going to boycott anybody. I understand, but I don't agree with it, and that's just my take on it. Why did you cut off all your hair? It was so pretty before. My hair's pretty now. What are you talking about? It's my hair. It's pretty now. But there is actually a story behind this, and again, it was just a little bit too much to type out. Let's rewind back. Maybe I'll remember to insert a picture. I dyed all my hair platinum, like it was white, and it was white all on its own. It wasn't like, oh, I toned it and it was that white. Like, we had done all the damage. Well, after that, I had decided when I think I was like 5 weeks out, we did my roots, and my hair was utterly destroyed. This was last summer. I had a major chemical burn. Like, it was so painful. My last few days at work before I left for my surgery, I wore a hat, and I did that because I couldn't wash my hair, and I had a major chemical cut. My hair was this long all along the back, and if you watched before, my hair was pretty long on top, so it was hard, and my hair was just kind of breaking after that. I let it grow for quite some time, got a good chunk of length of roots, and I dyed my hair again. At that time when I Sorry, my voice is like, I don't know what's going on. But at that time, I thought that that's what I wanted to do, was just kind of keep the top long and keep it platinum. But I was having a lot of issues with the ends, not up at the top, but at the ends. Everything was breaking and I wanted to cut the ends off. And I initially went to Puff and I was like, I think I'm going to go back to like my original pixie. And he mentioned that he actually preferred me with shorter hair than he thinks that I even like on myself. And I'm like, well, how short? And then I kind of went back and forth between being safe and doing something I had done before or something completely different and being able to keep the platinum. And I've got to say, it's like the best decision I've ever made. No, I don't regret it. I love my hair like this. I do it myself now. I don't have to leave the house. Like, it's amazing. And it's little to no work during the week. So that's why I cut it. And no, I don't regret it, for anybody who's wondering that. How do you pay for all this expensive luxury makeup? This just kind of goes back to rude. Why would you ask stuff like that? But again, I've avoided it, so I'm gonna answer it. The way I pay for this is I bust my butt. I work a full-time job and I also do YouTube. For the first 2 years on YouTube, the first year I didn't make anything. Second year is every couple months I made anywhere from $100 to $300. I'm finally making more money than I put out into makeup. So pretty much everything I make on YouTube goes into my channel. And then I also have my other job and I have a little extra from what bills I have to pay for makeup. The thing is, I don't go out and drink. I don't go out and eat at restaurants. I don't do a lot of the things. I don't really buy a lot of clothing either. I invest everything into my channel, basically. I don't think I would buy this much if I wasn't doing this, but how I pay for it is basically I bust my butt. I work really hard because I believe that you either are going to make an excuse or you're going to make it happen, and I choose to make it happen. And no, Puffin does not pay for any of my makeup other than like the random thing he will buy me every once in a while because he is so cute and so sweet and he loves me. The next question literally made me so mad. Like, I was pissed, and I'm pissed even answering this question. Oh, I remember calling Kelsey after I got this and I was like, are they serious? Are they serious? So the question is, am I a hypochondriac? And then this particular person, the one that won't get out of my head, is, you need to relax, you need to be more positive, blah, blah, blah. Excuse you. You have no idea what goes on in my life. A hypochondriac thinks that something is wrong with them, thinks they're dying, thinks that they have some kind of sickness. They're constantly at the doctor, but nothing is actually wrong. I have had 19 surgeries. 19. So no, I'm not a hypochondriac. Yes, I have a lot of issues, but they're not things that I can really fix. I mean, I keep having surgery to fix them, but for some reason, they just keep going to bad anyway. But I find it to be pretty insulting for somebody to tell me that I need to be more positive. Like, let me just hand you the same set of circumstances and see how positive you are. And again, I feel like I'm pretty positive about the whole situation. Like, most of the time, I just have to laugh about it to keep from crying. So no, I'm not a hypochondriac. Have you ever responded to hate in a way you weren't proud of? I have definitely responded to hate. There have been a handful of times that I couldn't just hit that delete button. I said nothing that I am not proud of. So that part of it, no, I've never said anything that I'm not proud of. I've wished a time or two that I just let it go, but I don't know. I think sometimes people think that they can just say whatever they want to somebody. Like, I'm not problematic at all, you know, but I don't know. There's just been a few times that I've just like, you know what? What you said to me is not okay. I'm not going to lash out at you, but I'm going to let you know that this is not acceptable on my channel. And then usually I block them. My favorite thing to say is usually, LOL, okay girl, bye. How do I handle aging? Not very well. Completely honestly, not very well. I'm a little bit scared of what's going to happen in the future because of my mindset. I've always like been told that I was pretty and not as much been told the other good things about me. And like I know that there are other things that are good about me, other accomplishments, but that's not usually what I get known for. And I think YouTube is helping me out a little bit in that area because I get a lot of, oh, you're such a great artist. And when I see that, it makes me feel so much better because investing that much emotion into your appearance and thinking my self-worth is only based on my appearance is definitely detrimental. And I am having a hard time with it as I'm getting older. I'm about to be 32 for anybody who is wondering. But it's definitely hard, especially in the YouTube community where most of the influencers or beauty gurus, whatever you want to call them, are in their 20s. And early 20s at that, but I just try to not compare myself to them and know that I definitely have things other than my looks that are important. All right, you guys, that is it for today. If there's more questions that you guys want to see me answer, something I didn't answer or get to in this video, please leave them down below. If you want to see a part 2 of this, again, just let me know. Leave your questions so that I have some content to answer, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye, guys.